spaghetti series. I had a couple hours, so I wanted to get some of the more more standard things that we've already seen done, and I might have gotten a little carried away, as usually happens. So some of the newest developments is, as you can see, I've started building out the sciences. Getting back to, after basically stopping all of that when after we finished up all the yellow only researches. Now we've crossed off quite a few things from the checklist, quite a few things indeed. Let me actually get that up for you guys. Let's see. So yeah, here is a couple of our newest progressions, and actually I need to update this. Uh, that's not right. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Not only have I put in some nanotubes, as well as two full lines of broadband. Let me go show those off right now. Uh, Pick up after myself. Here are the broadbands. Now, to make broadband, it takes three different inputs and is 8 seconds each. 8 seconds. So, typically takes 20 Mark III assemblers for a belt for a process doing 1 second. Multiply that by 8 is 160 per line. And I thought I had enough space here, so I started in this little pocket because actually it fits in very, very nicely right here between these. And went all the way out here and was like, crap, because it went right into not only some oil production but also the manufacturing hub that we had, the line of buildings that we had, which I'll show in a minute as well, because I just realized that was also something I got carried away with. Anyway, so in order to get 160 per line, it's 80 on either side, and like this line up here comes down and folds in on itself. That's 160 right there. And this one not only had to fold in on itself on this half, but also split over here. And to get the outflow and inflow going for that, the inflow of finished products combines here and goes all the way back, and here we have a nice splitter. So that is two full lines of particle broadband. A line being obviously a Mark III belt. What else? What else? We are looking very nice as an industrial planet. I love it. I absolutely love it. And here, just because I could, I put a counter line of yellow and blue. Gives it a little bit of a flashing nature. So over here, most recently, two, 4, 8 full lines of blue science. I love it because, well, it will when our vertical stacking is maximized. So 3 seconds each. Remember what I just said. Well, 3 seconds each at, yeah, sorry. 3 seconds each, and these are at basically speed 1. That means 90 of them. However, max height is 15. So we only need 4 stacks, bring in 1 line of green circuits and 1 line of electromagnetic rings to 4 stacks of these. 1 line in, and boom, done. And since it's 3, we can do that 4 times with the 12 ports of a interstellar. And as you can see, already buffered. already fully buffered. I love it. Once we get research started up, that is just going to blaze right through. So, we have the broadband. We have a little bit of nanotube. I didn't want to do nanotube production on a large scale because um, typically you get carbon nanotubes from spiniform, not from graphene. So once we expand out into the cluster and we start getting spiniform, that will completely satisfy our carbon nanotube needs. Now, other things, and I just realized that this checklist was still blocking most of the thing. So these are done. This is good. Fairly. I don't think we've. I don't believe I've put in organic crystal again, or titanium crystal, and that will be needed to bring yellow science production up to snuff again. That already dealt with. So these prisms right here are only ever needed for photon exciters. And photon exciters are only ever needed for buildings. 3 different buildings: the oil extractor, oil refinery, and wireless recharging. So let's go take a look at the buildings of buildings over here. And where else to start but the start? So here we have these resources being brought in, and boom, put on a belt. 3 on this side, 1 on this side. Why 3 on this side? Because, well, sorters can only go up to 3 away, unless you have mods. But I don't want those mods. So, and over here we have steel, stone brick, and plasma exciters being brought in, and stone ore going out just because the patches are here, and I have the open slot. So here we have mining machines. All the things that make use of these 4 resources. First off, wind turbines, splitters, Tesla towers, Mark 1 sorters going into paired up with these motors into Mark 2, paired up with motor going into turbine, and Mark 2 going into Mark 3. And there we go. Don't need that one. So, what to do then? Well, then we bring in stone brick right here. Oh, and stone and steel over here to make Mark 1 storage boxes. Just because, yeah, why not? So, stone brick right here, coming in. Thank you for the helpful demonstration. Making smelters, water pumps, and just because I figured I should have at least one of them, thermal power plants. Because we're going to need some way to get rid of hydrogen on organic refining planets. And yes, it will take an entire planet of oil refining, and that is crazy. It is simply crazy what oil refining takes. So, and we're having each of the buildings remote storage, because we're not dealing with vessels or warpers with these, and local supply. Why? Because they just go straight over to the landing pad. We don't need. This is the back room. This is the back end of the warehouse. We do not need to deal with this. It's all brought to the front for us to pull as we need at the landing pad. So, we also have glass being brought in here, because I made a smelting line for glass and stone brick, but you've already seen smelting arrays. Don't worry about it. It's not interesting. So, glass coming in, because of all the buildings that need glass. You got chemical facilities, you got matrix labs, and actually, that's it. but glass also makes prisms. And prisms go directly into plasma exciters. Plasma exciters then get ferried over to here to make those 3 buildings. And you're good. Really, if I had, like, um, been able, like, if I had miniatures that I could physically move around on a table and plan out this thing, or, like, if I had a better way of designing this than Excel, which I haven't really done much in Excel lately. Let's get that off the screen. I, then yeah, I would have probably had these 3 over here at this end, not bothered over here, but that would have extended a little further. Whatever. Or like put it up here. Yeah, I probably would put it up here. So, or even, you know, maybe had a smelter or 2 just coming straight off of the stone making glass. That would have been interesting. A single smelter going into this assembler, going into this assembler, all to make plasma exciters. And then the plasma exciters just going directly into these 3 buildings, which are right here. Go away. Alright. The wireless power tower, oil extractor, and oil refinery. So, because, and again, we're not dealing with ratios here at all. That's why we only have 1 motor going into 1 turbine. That's and that's a 2 to 1. Whatever, doesn't matter. We don't care about getting the right ratios or the right inputs to output lines. We just want, this is basically trickle charging our supply lines. And that way, you know, all it's doing is feeding these. Right here, this landing pad. Love it. Things we don't have right now are energy exchangers. I can make a quick outpost for that. Or ray receivers being made, because we don't need those right now. And we don't have anywhere making photon exchangers, photon combiners, whatever. And photon combiners are a critical component of solar sails, which we are going to need millions and millions and millions of. Maybe not millions, but, you know, tens of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of thousands. So, you know, low millions, I would say, definitely. For the 200 Dyson spheres, yeah, definitely low millions at minimum. So, really for those, we're going to need entire fields of assemblers for, or preferably once we get optical grading crystals, which is the faster and cheaper recipe for it. Moving on. We also have, so these 3 fractionators, EM electromagnetic rail ejectors, and ray receivers, all handled right here. And lastly, we have copper and silicon over here to make solar panels. And here I couldn't stop myself from making, you know, opening up some of the bottlenecks, like these, having Mark III sorters going in here, as opposed to just, like, Mark 1 and letting it trickle build, whatever. And having two of the machines here, whatever. Because we're going to need thousands and thousands of those. So, it's fine. And speaking of, I don't know if y'all noticed, but there was a lot of energy draw when the labs were still making. So we're going to have to expand the solar fields. And I'm going to be building out the energy exchangers. That'll make more sense later. Finally, something that we are going to need millions and millions of, foundation. Right here, gets dealt with, brought in, and apparently I'm running low. Apparently I'm bottlenecked on stone brick. That is Weird. That is so weird. That's weird. That should be 360. Okay. Oh, look at that. Stone brick. Theoretical. That we should be fine. Why is it? Mm. Hmm. That's not good. All right. Apparently, we're missing 40 broadband factories. I'll count them out later. Um. But yeah. Where is stone brick having a problem? You know what? Let's have it bring in more at a time. That might help things out. There. Just open the hose. We're good. Cause yeah, stone brick. We want a lot of foundation. Cause at the end of the day, this whole planet will be a cue ball. No more green. You know, say what you want, but about biodiversity, which IRL massively in favor of, but not something we want in this game. There are currently no nothing. There's currently nothing about biodiversity being a part of the game at the moment, or part of the ecosystem. So let's expand this a bit more, because I currently have solar panels along both poles, so that they average out. All right. Oh, that's interesting. So let's try and get this. Come on. Oh, here. Why am I caring about this? Well, because we're about to implement a whole lot of solar panels right here. Oh. All right, there we go. So, guess so. Go back to. We can pull directly from our manufacturing hub right here, but it makes more. And yeah. So let's do that. We can, so let's do it. I don't know why. Alright. So you don't need to, with the new, ability to space things out incorporated into the game, you don't need to hit tab and cycle through. You don't have to. You can, but whatever. You can use the plus and minus, as you just saw. And, just repeatedly hit the minus to make sure that you're at the densest you can be. Alright. Yeah. One of the few times that you want to be as dense as possible. Outer whatever. Honestly, I don't believe I would have come back to Dyson Sphere if they didn't have this multi-build op- option, either as a mod or in the vanilla game. I just wouldn't do it. I don't have the patience for that. I barely have the patience for this as it is. Just kind of one of the reasons why I'm streaming, just to have someone to talk to during. Where is some fuel? Okay, I don't have any right now. All right. So while this builds, let's get this going. Can also show the here. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh, there we go. Get that ready. And yeah. With this is the checklist for the buildings. And as you can see, we have the satellite power stations, we have the accumulators, and we have the mini particle colliders, and the energy exchangers left to do. Energy exchangers can be done right now, so I'll put in something that just trickle charges it, basically. Um, and having However, the other two things, the satellite substation and the mini particle collider, you might notice what the commonality with those two are. Frame components. These guys. Let's move forward. And you need the frame components for the sphere components, hilariously enough. And you need the sphere components for the carrier rockets, which I do not currently have the tech for. But those carrier rockets are what makes the actual sphere. So definitely gonna need a couple, again, hundreds of thousands of those. So I'm doing all this ahead of the massive power draw just slamming into our network of getting the labs back up and running. Because right now we're at like 200 megawatts of draw of things just sitting idle because everything's been buffered. Oh, I'm out of items. Alright. Well, let's go to our landing pad. Oh. Look around for it. Ugh. I'll learn these one of these days. Did I see it and miss it, or have I not? There it is. Okay. Come on. Thank you. So, frame components, solar sails. We'll get into all these at some point. For now, it's been all about building up the infrastructure to make it so that we can actually do things. Of course, when I say it like that, I sound like a pack that's make things go, make us strong. Oh, you're so smart. Where? There. Snip. Kill. There we go. Tying it in as much as possible. Because we need that coal. Drill, baby, drill. Yeah, again, no biodiversity is needed, so we don't care if we're killing off whatever native animals happen to be here. You know, why should humanity's future be any different from its past? Alright. So let's charge back up. And yeah, so that's the North Pole. We also have the South Pole to expand a little bit more. This one we can actually get more things into because we don't have coal lines going all the way through it. Yeesh. Actually, since I'm here, wait, what is going on there? Did I break it? I think I broke it, but not this time, like not right now. So, oh wait, that's the one that is supposed to connect to that. Hmm? What? Okay. What are you talking about? Up a level. And there we go. What's the matter, buddy? See, I keep... IRL problems number one is currently complaining, even though I keep taking him outside and he doesn't do anything. I know, it's about more than just using the outside as a bathroom, but... Hang on. That's a self. Take down the checklist after I'm finished pointing at it. so almost finished up here. And I think we can... There we go. Now, you know, if we could do this right here for, like, I think it's like 10% of... Oops. 10% of the Gobi Desert, or the Sahara Desert. You know, we, you know, do nothing much, you know, just solve the world's energy crisis. Something stupidly, you know. Okay, wait a minute. I almost said stupidly simple. It is not stupidly simple. It takes a lot of infrastructure to get the power, to transmit it, to store it. It's... But, you know, it would mean we're completely free of being at the mercy of oil producing companies, you know, like in the 70s. Oh, but let's just, you know, make our own pipeline. Yeah, pipeline does not mean production. It means you'll be transporting through it and going elsewhere. Yeah. Oh, we have a holdout. There we go. Welcome to the network. Ooh, we are at a nice, cool 1.09 gigawatts. Still not enough for time travel just yet. Getting to there. So, I think that we should leave this as it is for now, because we can get... Oh, man, that's how long ago I built this. Didn't have the stacking technology, the magical technology to put boxes on top of one another. I joke, but I mean, putting buildings on top of one another is a big thing. You know, taller and taller buildings just don't magically think, but like storage boxes. That's what I'm talking about. Storage boxes shouldn't be that big of an issue. Where are we on that? We have one last one. So we can stack 13 things on top of each other. 13 labs. And 7 boxes on top of one point. That's the wrong one. That's not what I was trying to look at. Here we go. Yeah, we have one last one. So, but that'll take green. Green science. Good lord. Alright. So, as you can see, I have all these texts queued up, and they are all on this page. They're all the things that that we're waiting on for purple for. Alright. Sadly, you have to up the limit in order to put things in, which ups the demand. You should be able to just take it and shove it in, regardless of up to the storage max or not. So, we have, looking at our checklist, okay, we should get to the sciences at some point today, and that's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna be making crystal silicon on the other planet, the planet that currently has silicon. And that'll be there. That'll bring things back, bring those back for particle broadband and other things that. No, so crystal silicon is only for particle broadband and accumulators. So, accumulators. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. Here, so because these can be put into your reactor to fuel you up and charge you, but they're not that great, and you don't get the drained accumulators back, because normally you have an accumulator, you charge it up, you have a full accumulator, then you put it into, either you put it down on the ground and it'll discharge as needed. Oops. Alright. And it'll discharge as needed, or you run it through an energy exchanger, and the energy exchanger can extract that 90 megajoules at a rate of 45 megawatts. So they're pretty good. You can have like 20 of them making all the power that 25 of them making all the power that I'm making right now, over a gigawatt. So 25 of them would replace all these solar panels, all the wind turbines that I have everywhere, interspersed with all my factories. All of these, every single one could be replaced. Now, that is only doable if you have something generating that power, because energy exchangers only exchange, they don't produce. So that's the difference. Alright, I'm gonna have to deal with IRL problems #1 right now, so I'll be back, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Yes, indeed, Daniel and Dice. Thanks for joining us anyway. Sorry, I only just now got to it. I am horrible with chat rooms, basically. Thank you very much. I'll be back later in the day. And as always, thanks for coming. I'll see you at the next party.